Hey, Mr. Internet, I've seen you swing but never hit. Your algorithm's drifting out of sync. For all the shit you recommend, the grifts and ads that never end, I have to give you credit for one thing. Serendipity, bop, stopping all my problems, sitting on top from a song that fits just right. Serendipity, bop, stopping all my problems, lottery odds on a flawless lucky find.
Welcome, ladies, gents, friends betwixt and beyond the gender binary, to Jam Mechanics, the only podcast worth listening to. My name is Matt. I'm the Narcissist Cookbook. With me in the Jam Macabin is
Bug from Bug Hunter. Welcome, everybody. If you've never listened to Jam Mechanics, we are a podcast. Both Matt and I are songwriters. We are going to get a challenge to write a song today, and then we are going to go away for 3 hours. We're going to write that song. We're going to come back. We're going to show off our work and talk about what was good, what was bad, what we liked, what we didn't like.
We were having a long conversation before this started. I don't know if you want to go into it, Bug, because you know, people love to hate, but they also hate to hate.
Okay.
And
so this was I was going to bring up both of these things. So I'm looking at our icebreaker questions for how we start the show, and I saw two that were like perfect. One was from Carried Coin, who asked, "How will you know when you know each other well enough to not need icebreaker questions?" I felt that one because literally we were talking before
I felt that.
Before we hit record, we were talking about something, and Matt started talking and was being funny, and I was like, wait, stop, we're not recording. This needs to go in the show.
You said I was using my podcast voice, and
You
I'm
were.
like, Bug, that's just my voice.
I know, and really, we do just talk like we're on the podcast, but then I was like, wait a minute. We're literally sitting here with our microphones. But the thing that we were talking about was this other question that I saw, which was from Archie, who asks, everyone is always posting things like, you know what I hate? Tell me something interesting about you, starting with, you know what I love. And that is exactly what we were talking about. I was talking about, why am I a hater?
You are such a hater.
And I don't mean to be, but I found myself doing this yesterday. I just watched Severance Season 2, and we're not going to talk Severance spoilers because Matt hasn't even seen the show. So I was telling Matt, I was like, I loved Season 1, but we watched Season 2, and I thought it was just like it fell off in an enormous way. And that's just my opinion. And here's the thing. The thing that I caught myself was I went to the group chat message with Kyle, who's Bug Hunter's drummer, and one of Kyle's co-workers, who they had told me about Severance when we were playing Rocket League. And so that's why I went to them and I was like, okay, I'm finished now. Did we all think the season 2 sucked? Is that the general consensus? And I don't know why I need to be validated in my opinion of thinking that season 2 was a drop off from season 1, because they were both like, yeah, it wasn't as good as season 1, but I still liked it. And then I was like, but what about this part where this thing happened? What about this other thing? Wasn't that weird? And I'm like, why am I now trying to convince these two that they don't like Severance Season 2?
Yeah, how would you feel if they were actually like, you know what, maybe it was bad. Maybe I was wrong to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, what the best outcome for me is I've squashed their joy. And that sucks. Yeah. So I'm going to be better about that.
I've got a relationship, like a weird relationship with hating things, because it does feel fun to hate something that's really popular, because the easiest way to feel like you are a smart person when you're 11 years old is to say, popular things suck. Yeah. And that's so intoxicating. It's so intoxicating. I feel drunk with genius.
I know a secret that nobody else knows. This thing that has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. I know a secret. It actually sucks. Do you have a question for me?
Yeah, I've got a question for you. This is a question from Snaggletooth. Describe your perfect rest stop on tour. Yeah, we don't get an awful lot of rest stops.
When I think about like physical rest stops, like the ones for truckers, when you go in, and sometimes we go use the restroom and it's a gas station, and sometimes we go and it's
wait. So this means like, it doesn't mean like a rest day we got nothing to do. This is like a rest stop. This is like a stop.
That's how I took it. A rest stop. Like sometimes there's just places that are called rest stops, and sometimes we go to ones that are for like truckers, and you'll go in there and there will be pool tables, and there will be ping pong tables, and there will be showers. And I just had this memory. Hey Matt, you remember that really weird?
God damn it! I was like, I just remembered the really weird one.
That really weird secret casino that we found in like Louisiana.
Yes, I do remember that. That was great.
That was so
You will remember better than I do because a really bad memory. So you go wax lyrical about this.
Yeah, okay. So it was, we were driving through Louisiana because we were going from Houston to Florida, and we stopped off at this gas station, and there was a hurricane coming, right?
Yeah.
The winds were strange, and everybody was like, ooh, everybody better get inside. And we go into this gas station, but then there's a door that says like casino. And this is just like, it's like a normal like Shell station, right? It's not like this big building. It just says like casino this way. And we're like, what? And so we both are like, all right, let's explore. Papa Bug's gassing up the van. Let's go explore. And we go through this door, and then we enter just like a room with nothing in it. There's no tables, chairs, furniture, nothing. It's just like tile floor, kind of like Severance. It was just kind of like this empty room.
There is a guy there, though.
No. Because then we had to walk through that room, and then we walked through another door, and then there was this little room in the back that had a bunch of slot machines, and then a little gentleman sitting there. He's just waiting.
And we walk in, clearly a bunch of people over 30, but we're walking in like we're 15 years old.
Yeah, we're like looking around the corner like, should we be here? And the guy's like, I'm going to need to see some ID. And we're just like, oh, that's okay. We don't really want to be here. We're not supposed to be here. And then we just left because we weren't gonna stop and play blackjack on our road trip.
It really does say something about us on like a spiritual level that it's like we were all like, we're not supposed to be in the casino. We're not old enough.
And then we walked back out and we like buy. Is that where you bought a crocodile? I feel like that was where you bought a crocodile.
No, that was in Florida.
I think that was in Louisiana. You did buy a little crocodile.
No, it was in a different place because I remember the woman in Louisiana giving me the perfectLouisiana spiel of like, well, there's a storm a-brewing. And I'm like, we got to get out of this state.
She was like 8 months pregnant.
No. I bought the crocodile head in a different place.
Yeah, but we did find a haunted casino in Louisiana. I wouldn't say that was a perfect rest stop, but it definitely was the most interesting one.
But yeah, I guess it's time to jam mechanic.
You want to do a little jam mechanics?
Yeah, I'm ready to jam mechanic.
Heck yeah. So, the format here, season 3 of Jam Mechanics, is we are going to get a single challenge from our good friend, Deep Blue Ink. We went to Deep Blue Ink's wedding last October.
And we've told you literally everything that can be said about this wedding. There's nothing more that can be said.
No, there's got to be something else.
I don't think there's 10 stories to tell about any wedding.
I just thought of another story about Deep Blue Ink's wedding.
Okay.
It's Deep Blue Ink's wedding adjacent. Do you remember what we did on the way to Deep Blue Ink's wedding?
No.
One of our favorite things to do as a band, and it very rarely lines up where this works because the scheduling of it is very hard with being on the road. But we had the day off of Deep Blue Ink's wedding, and on the way to Deep Blue Ink's wedding, there was a small town where they had escape rooms.
Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah. So the only way that we could logistically make the escape room work before the wedding was we all had to do the escape room in our wedding clothes.
Yeah, exactly. So
we were all dressed up, and we were like, we also had to, we spent like 15 minutes finding the escape room. It was both an escape room and a secret entrance room.
Yeah, we walked around an entire block like twice.
Yeah.
It was weirdly difficult to find. Also, because we were in our suits, there is a picture of all of us, and it looks even more so than usual that we are youth pastors on a day off. Like it really.
So we did the super pirate escape room in England, and we're all in our wedding clothes except my dad, because my dad didn't bring any wedding clothes, and so because he wasn't going to go. And so there is a picture of us with the little "I did it" signs, like, you know, in our time.
They completely fucked us on that time, by the way. We didn't.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into escape room politics, okay? Because we completed that escape room with no hints, okay? And it was not an easy escape room. But then we went to the leaderboard, and it was like, yeah, these 12 teams beat you, and they only used the hint system 27 times. And I'm like, no.
I think we all walked out of there being like, yeah, this is bullshit. The leaderboard should be for the no hint teams.
Yeah, but then there'd be no one on the leaderboard but us, is the thing.
And that's how it should have been. And so we went to Deep Blue Ink's wedding after that, and we told Deep Blue Ink about that, and we said, hey, Deep Blue Ink, do you want to be our permanent prompter on Jam Mechanics Season 3? And he asked us, well, did you get on the leaderboard for the escape room? And we said, no, we didn't get on the leaderboard for the escape room. He said, I only collaborate with winners. Because we didn't get on the leaderboard of the escape room, Deep Blue Ink said, the best I can do for you two is just, here's my number. You can call me anytime, day or night, and I will provide you with a prompt for jam mechanics.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to do.
You thought I didn't have another Deep Blue Ink wedding story.
We have you have an unspecified amount of time to come up with the 10th wedding story about this. Yeah, I'm really you know what? It's really nice to not remember anything because it means that I can I've outsourced my memory having to my friends, and that's really nice. So let me see if I can get Deep Blue Ink on the phone.
Hey, Matt, Bug. This is about Jam Mechanics Season 3, right? I'm really sorry. I'm busy at the minute in a queue to meet and greet with Deep Blue Ink, but I have got your prompt. I'm thinking something like, in a scoring position. Anyway, oh my god, I'm next. Hey, yo, I'm Deep Blue Ink. Oh my god, hi, Deep Blue Ink. I'm such a fan.
Okay, I'm going to let you give me...
So we have in a scoring position.
In a scoring position.
Feel like such a Britishy kind of thing to say.
I feel like I've never heard those words in that order before.
I mean, it feels like a soccer thing. It feels like a football thing. Yeah, it feels like a football thing.
We're in a scoring position. In fact, you know what? I'm going to Google it right now.
There's 40 years of a baseball love affair.
In baseball, scoring position
this is baseball.
refers to a runner being on second or third base where they can potentially score in a single or even sacrifice fly from third. What?
Okay, so it's kind of a baseball-y thing.
Okay, right.
I thought it was going to be a soccer thing.
In baseball, scoring position refers to a runner being on second or third base where they can potentially score on a single or even a sacrifice fly from third. Okay, so we're sacrificing flies today.
Cool.
Have you got a little secondary prompt from me to give me maybe a bit more direction than this?
I didn't bring one, but let me think. I think what I'm going to give you is related to our liminal space casino that we found in Louisiana. I want, if you could do something that's like something where it's not supposed to be.
Something where it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, not where it's supposed to be. Finding something where it's not supposed to be.
Changing.
No, but I'm workshopping it. It's something in that realm. Kind of think to the weird single staffed no patrons casino that we found in the back of a gas station during a hurricane.
Exactly. Something where it's not supposed to be. Like, for example, someone in scoring position who's actually on first base.
Yeah, that's great. That's good. Perfect.
Okay, here's my prompt for you, because I know that you love it. I know that you love to be a little hater, and so this is going to be let your hater go.
This in part 2.
You don't need to necessarily write a diss track. This is just going to be like it's safe to hate.
Okay, this is a safe space for hate.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. We workshopped it, and you came up with something you liked.
Okay, cool. Safe space for hate.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a safe space for hate.
Okay, safe space for hate, along with in a scoring position. What are some of your ideas? What places come to mind for you that are in the wrong spot?
In a scoring position is a difficult one because it's so specific, but it also means absolutely nothing to me. So it could.
Well, I mean, it could also mean it doesn't have to be baseball. It could be you're just about to achieve something. No, yeah. Hey, the thing that you want is within reach, You're in a scoring position.
Yeah. And something where it's not supposed to be, I love that. That speaks to my desire to always be writing songs about little creepy things.
And I actually knew you'd like that. And I'm surprised that you haven't written anything about a secret liminal space casino in the back of a gas station during a hurricane, because that seemed like...
Okay, yeah. My brain's ticking.
Mine is not. I had actually done some character growth at the beginning of this episode and decided to put all hate aside, but just when I was about to retire, you pulled me back in.
Exactly. I do know that you love to hate. This is going to be you guys. There is a rule on tour, which is no video cameras or audio recording equipment in the van, because as soon as that van door closes, Bug is like, all right. This is a safe space for hate.
Who is your least favorite fan?
Here's what I want you to do while we're away on our break. You have as much time as you want. Like we're going to be back here in 15 seconds, but what I want you to do is to go outside, and I want you to look directly into the sun and report back.
And we are back from the break. Welcome back to Jam Mechanics. Matt from Narcissus Cookbook. How was Jam
my Jam Mechanics was pretty good. I feel like I say that every single week.
Yeah, well, no, sometimes you're mad at yourself. Sometimes you are sad and upset.
Every now and again, I come back and I'm just like, woo, I did it.
We never come in with, I nailed this one. Because when I have one that I think I nailed, I always want to like make a joke or something.
No, I think I've come in once or twice with ones I've nailed that I've just been like, I did it. I nailed it today. It was so easy. This one, I take a real swing for a hook, and the hook is the title. I take a real swing because I needed something.
Okay.
And I didn't know what it would be. And I really needed something. And I looked at the themes of the song. And then I was like, I guess this will do. And so I am not going to know how I feel about it for a wee while. But yeah, I take a real swing at it.
I think I went through the most ideas I've ever gone through for a Jam Mechanic song. It was very quick. It was very rapid succession. Like I went through like 6 ideas in the first like 20 minutes. Just being like, okay, maybe it's this. And then I would try that. And then be like, no, it's not that. And then let me try this. And I think I ended up going back to my second idea because it was the most compelling of anything. And I found some chords that worked for it. So, and then I worked on it for like the full time. I wrote it pretty quick. I tried to do a better production of it this time, but I was saving the bridge and the ending for the end. And by the time I wrote it, I couldn't get my production to kind of mesh with it. So I ended up doing just another one take acoustic guitar thing. But yeah, who do you want to go first?
I'll go first. I want to.
Cool.
I'm noticing a skill of mine improve on a episode by episode basis, which is that the way I think about writing a song is it's kind of like the Stanley Parable, if you've ever played the Stanley Parable. The idea is that like you constantly have choices, and you'll walk down one corridor and you'll be like, this is shit. This is a dead end. You'll go back and you'll go back down another corridor. And I'm getting better and better and better at just recognizing when an idea that I have, even just on a line by line thing, not even on a song, like just a melody or a line, I'm like, that's not good, go back and try again. That's not good, go back and try again.
Yeah.
So I think that this song is like very workmanlike. You know, I felt like I was coming in here being like, I know how to write a song, and maybe it won't be the greatest, but like I'm going to hammer this one out. So I
totally relate to that, given kind of how mine went of coming up with 5 to 6 ideas and just knowing that wasn't it, and just recognizing it so quickly instead of like waffling and like, oh, maybe I can make this work. I say that having abandoned a song at the 2-hour point this season, but I do feel like I am getting better at it.
I mean, ideally, I would say something like that and then lead into a great song. I don't know if that's what this is, but let's hear it.
Oh, sure.
This is a song called Curdled Milk Teeth.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Remind us of the challenge.
The challenge was from Deep Blue Ink. It was in a score. In a scoring position. Oh, Jesus. Okay. In a score. Right. I said to you before we hit record on this, I think that this might be the song out of all the songs we've ever done for Jam Mechanics that is most tenuously linked to the challenges. So it's in a scoring position and something where it's not supposed to be, and I think I'm going to have to explain one or both of those after the song.
Well, I read the title, and my first thought was, these curdled milk teeth aren't where they're supposed to be, and that just cracked me up.
Right, let me post the lyrics.
I have curdled milk teeth here, and also a song from Matt called "Curdled Milk Teeth." We are going to hit go in 3, 2, 1, go.
Driving through the Highlands at 4:45 in the morning in the middle of June, listening to a record that I used to rely on to get by, thinking about you. Stop the car, intersections, check my heart, spin the wheel in your direction, 'cause somewhere right in the dark you're burning, and all I need to do is to follow the heat. If I never come up for air, I won't ever need to breathe. Curdled milk teeth. I don't know this road from any other. I'm hungry and tired, and I'm 100 exits deep in the valley walls walls are so high. I must have missed the sunrise, if there ever was a sunrise. Don't know when it happened, but sometime in the past I got too tall to hide in the rye. I suddenly recall how I used to rely on you to catch me before I hit the overhand. Kill the engine, try to soothe my racing heart. Turn my head in your direction, 'cause somewhere right in the dark, you're burning, and all I need to do is to follow the heat. If I never come up for air, I won't ever need to breathe. Colonel Melted.
All right. I like this. I need you to show me your work.
Give me okay, right.
I need an explanation.
You're saying you don't get it? You're saying you don't understand?
Here's my only guess. Here's my guess. If I'm wrong, that's fine. Is it finding something where it's not supposed to be, just the existence of the phrase curdled milk teeth being thrown into the song with no context?
No, with something where it's not supposed to be, I was like sneaking through the rye, okay? But like sneaking through the rye. So here's the thing.
I need it. I need an explanation.
I wrote the first verse and the chorus and the post chorus, and then I was like, okay, I need something to eat. And then I got in the car and I was like, I need to write. What am I going to do? Scoring position, singing the song, sporting position. And I was like, okay, sporting position could mean that it could mean the position that a sports person is in. And then I was like, catcher. A catcher, is catcher in the rye a reference to like there being a catcher? And then I was like, no, the catcher in the rye is a reference to somebody. And I just realized like 2 minutes ago that it's scoring position and not sporting position. So, sporting position, a catcher. God damn it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And that's also not what Catcher in the Rye is a reference to. Catcher in the Rye, is as I've learned, is a reference to kids running around in the rye and there being somebody there to catch them before they run off a cliff. And I worked that in. I sure did work that in.
You sure did.
But not a scoring position, which is what I legitimately thought. Shit.
Pretty good. You intentionally like liberal kiddied yourself into a different prompt.
No, completely unintentionally. Completely.
Yeah,
didn't even check it. I just assumed that what I believed was right, which really is like a really core character flaw of mine.
But the thing I need an explanation on is, and maybe is this a British candy that I don't know about?
Curdled
is this
milk
a Scottish? Like, is this? I mean, I know I go to your petrol stations and I look at all your fancy candies, and if I just missed curdled milk teeth next to the
no, can you imagine?
ones?
Actually, now you say it, it does sound like oi, you want a little bag of curdled milk teeth?
Yeah, it kind of does a little bit.
It'll be 2 bits and a bob.
What is curdled milk teeth?
Nothing. It's nothing. No, but like no. It's it's a theme of the song. The whole song was definitely retroactively turned into being about looking for somebody in your life that stopped you getting into trouble, or that was like an adult figure that you looked up to. And it's a song about not wanting to grow up. And milk teeth are baby teeth. Do you not know what a milk tooth is?
No, I'm missing this context.
Is a baby tooth.
Okay.
So it's like,
why is it curdled?
Because curdled milk curdles, and and milk teeth is just like, oh, you're getting older, but it's curdled because it's bad. As I said, I took a real fucking swing because I was like, I need something at the end of this chorus, because originally it was just me singing, I won't ever need to breathe again. I'm like, that sucks. And I'm like, literally anything there would be better than just me repeating that. So curdled milk teeth was
got it. Okay.
And I wrote it down and I'm like, that's gross. And then I was like, maybe gross is all it needs to be. You know, so I can show my working. Like I can show. There's a
no, that's fine. It was just I didn't have milk
yeah.
teeth. I didn't
Milk
have
teeth is baby
this
teeth.
phrase. And so when I kept saying, hey, I need an explanation, and you kept ignoring curdled milk teeth as far as what needed to be explained, I was like, okay, there must be a disconnect in our slang. And I was like, is it a candy? Is it?
You know what?
Got
If you are sitting at home and you're a candy maker and you want to bring us what you imagine a bag of curdled milk teeth would be.
If you're a Wonka Nepo baby and you want to bring us some candy to the show.
Some absolute, like when you go to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and you eat a curdled milk tooth, something really bad happens to you. You do not survive that process.
No, that's how they get rid of the worst kids.
It's just a bullet.
Hi up, lad. You want a curdled milk tooth?
So with all the language barriers out of the way, let's talk about this song. I really liked it was the middle verse, and it was also the one that you kind of put underneath the final kind of refrain. Now I don't know this road from any other. I'm hungry and tired, and I'm 100 exits deep, and the valley walls are so high that I must have missed the sunrise. Love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought that was some very cool, again, world building, I think is the word I like to use for you, where it's just like, ooh, that's some very cool imagery of valley walls being so high. I must have missed the sunrise is neat. I like that a lot.
This feels like, I don't know, this almost feels like it could be a Linkin Park deep cut. There's just something, maybe not the verses, but the chorus is very nu metal. It's very like power nu metal. Not the kind of song I would generally write these days, but it's what came out, and I was like, you know what? That's the song we're writing today. That's what we're writing.
What do you feel about it? It's like completion. Do you feel like this is everything you want it to be?
No. I think this song is a really weird mix of sort of early Bruno Mars in the verses and also Jack Johnson, early Bruno Mars in the verses, and then a sort of 2002 nu metal power chorus, and then I don't know what the hell that bridge is, sort of Ed Sheeran-y. There's a lot going on in this song, and I don't know how much of it is good, but it's done. Thank you.
I liked it. I was so intrigued by these milk teeth and how curdled they were.
In a sporting position. We did it!
In a sporting position. Good job, Matt. Amazing. So, do we want to hop on over to my song? I had in a scoring position, as well as the Let the Hate Flow Through You, I believe is what you said. Yeah, so I bounced around on a couple ideas. This was the most compelling to me. I'd say coming out of it, not to like bias or anything, I feel like there's more, there's something here. There's a lot of great pieces. I have a song called The Upper Hand. Okay. There's pieces of this that I love. I think there's definitely, like, I'll say right off the bat that there are things that I'm going to come back to from this. I ran out of time here a little bit at the end to kind of nail the ending, but I feel like this is a successful Jam Mechanics as any.
Let's do it. So we got The Upper Hand, challenges being scoring position, and Let the Hate Flow Through You. We're starting in a 3, a 2, a 1, a jam it.
I am barking at the mailman, though you tell me there's no hope. But my father barked at milkmen. When's the last time you saw one of those? And I am barking at the squirrels outside, and no one thinks it works. But my father barked at saber tooths and wiped them from the earth. We can solve it like our fathers, open hands balled into fists. If we solve it like our fathers, we'll just end up in the mess we're in. Throwing punches when you're cornered, we understand. But you're punching when you have the upper hand. Now I am barking out at everything. I like the way it sounds, 'cause my father barked at everything, and I wanna make him proud. We can solve it like our fathers, walk 10 paces, turn and shoot. If we solve it like our fathers, then our kids will solve it this way too. Throwing punches when you're cornered, we understand. But you're punching when you have the upper hand.
world loves an underdog, but you can't break the rules and start beating us with baseball bats when your team starts to lose. 'Cause the screaming in the stands might sound like cheering from this far, and all your kids are watching and can't tell the two apart. Yeah, all your kids are watching when you tell them who you are. Throwing punches when you're cornered, we understand. But you're punching when you have the upper hand.
Yeah. Yep. Literally the only criticism I would have is that I think the only weak part of this.
Wait. Say something nice first.
Yeah. I love that we both said milk. That's important.
We did both say
Yeah.
milk. Double milk episode.
I love the whole idea of like my father barked at Sabretooth, father barked at milkmen. I love this idea of generational hate, generational trauma.
Yeah.
I love the pre-choruses. The pre-choruses work really well. I love the way you extend those the rhyme and just make the rhyme come like just a beat later than you would think it would. Love that.
I knew you would love that. I was like,
Yeah, I will like
this.
that. I do love that.
How I don't rhyme right at you love doing
that's
that.
something I think about a lot. Yeah, literally, I think the weakest part of the song is the chorus, and it might just mean that the chorus needs to be delivered slightly differently. The rest of the song is great, and the chorus doesn't quite.
You are wrong. The chorus
is your favorite part.
It's my favorite part. Throwing punches when you're cornered, we understand, but you're punching when you have the upper hand. It's my favorite part.
Okay,
Sorry.
cool. Well,
next criticism, please.
I don't have any other criticisms. This might be
good.
the perfect song.
The perfect song.
I really like this. There are songs that you write that already feel like they work best in the world of this is just you with a guitar, and this is one of them. I feel like this could just be like a little, like at the end of a Green Day concert, they've set fire to Trey Cool, and
they do it every
set
show.
fire to Trey Cool, and then Billy Joe Armstrong comes out and sings "Good Riddance, Time of Your Life" at the end. This sort of feels like you're playing in front of like a burning pyre, and it's just you and a guitar, and I like that.
Honestly, I think the production could save the chorus, in my opinion. I feel like if there's just something else to accentuate that chorus after the pre-chorus.
Honestly, what I was thinking, what key are you playing this in? D.
Oh shit!
When you're cornered, you understand.
It's going to be B minor A G.
B minor A G.
That's the that's the chorus.
I thought instead of going like throwing punches when you're cornered, we understand. Even just playing one chord, throwing punches when you're cornered, we understand. But you're punching when you have the upper hand. Because you're doing that same beat all the way through, and just playing one chord there would break it up. It was, and that was literally it. It wasn't even the verses it wasn't the words or the melody that my issue was. It was that there just wasn't anything to break up where that chorus was landing.
That's kind of what I'm feeling too. Is I love the chorus. I feel like that's the thing that I'm gonna take away. I really like it. I just like how concise it is and what it means and how it flows. But yeah, I think production wise, I had an hour. I had an hour to record the whole song, and I just didn't get it together in time to do what I wanted to. But just something a little more to accentuate that chorus, to give it a little more oomph, would have been lovely. But because it was recorded just on my acoustic guitar, I can accept that it maybe just sounded a little samey.
Yeah, I love this. It feels very topical. It does a thing that you're very good at, which is taking a big idea and boiling it down to a little puppy dog. It's just a little puppy dog talking about his daddy.
Yeah.
That is a real superpower that you have.
Thanks. Yeah. I think, the way I arrived at everything, obviously I feel like the hate flow through you is pretty apparent in this. The scoring position, I took that to kind of just mean having the advantage. You're in a spot where you're better off than somebody else, and that's where you're punching when you have the upper hand comes in. But then I got to the bridge and I needed something else. I still kind of had that baseball imagery that we talked about before. And so I kind of worked that into the bridge. I don't know that this bridge would have been that bridge had we not been trying to hit these challenges, right? I was trying to kind of do a little bit more in that vein, but I feel like the metaphor gets a little out of control. The only thing I had to link to between the baseball analogy and the dog kind of visual is the whole world loves an underdog, but you can't break the rules. And that's how I kind of bridged the gap between those two, but it felt weak.
Well, there's something there with upper hand and underdog. Yeah, no, it just really works. It really works.
I liked the bridge. I liked and all your kids are watching and can't tell the two apart. All your kids are watching when you tell them who you are.
Picturing adults at a little league game, just absolutely attacking each other, yelling, headlocks.
Yeah.
Noogies.
Headlocks. Lots of noogies. Chronic noogies.
This is great. So who are we going to set on fire so you can play this at the end of the show?
I guess it had to be Kyle, huh? And sometimes Jesse. Because sometimes Jesse fills in on drums when Kyle's not there. So,
that's
sorry,
okay.
boys.
I mean, they've already signed their waivers. This has been Jam Mechanics. Thank you for joining us for this episode. What's going on in my life? I have a new bed arriving tomorrow. When I moved into this, when I moved into this apartment, it had a bed in it, and I think that bed is probably like 15 years old. And so I went to get a new bed, and it is arriving tomorrow. I'm very excited. This is the last night sleeping in this terrible old shitty bed. And besides that, in like less than 2 weeks.
What are you having for dinner tonight?
What?
What are you having for dinner tonight?
What am I having for dinner? I don't know, maybe some ice cream.
Cool. Cool. What's the weather like over there?
Okay, listen up. I'm just grounding this episode in time, okay? We're 10 days away from going out on tour. It's really weird.
You want to make sure everyone knows that this episode was recorded one day before you got your new bed.
I'm fucking pumped. I'm gonna be in the chat right now. People are gonna be like, "Well, how's the new bed, Matt?" And I'm gonna be like, "Good."
The lore drop is just crazy. People have been dying to know, what were you doing when you got this new bed?
My right to express myself creatively, and that's fine because I don't need your respect. Thank you for joining us on Jam Mechanics today, I guess. If you want to message Bug, you can message Bug at bug@jammechanics.com. If you want to ask me what my new bed was like, don't do that. Don't do that, because that's going to be so many emails.
Hey, Matt, how's your bed?
tnc@jammechanics.com. And if you want to say hi to both of us, you can say hi at hello@jammechanics.com.
If you want these episodes, you can go to www.jammechanics.com or jammechanics.bandcamp.com, and you can download the songs for free if you want to pay what you want. So if you want to throw us a little support, you can do that. If you don't want to do that, then I guess Matt will have to wait another 15 years to get a new bed.
And also, I hope you've been enjoying us on tour. If you haven't come to see us yet, then come and see us on the rest of the tour, because I will probably be back in the UK by the time this airs. Who knows?
It's impossible to know. But yeah, we are either on tour or going to be on tour unless you're on the West Coast. There's no chance that this episode comes out before that. So sorry you missed us in Seattle and California, but you can still see us in the Midwest, East Coast, South, Denver, definitely. You can definitely see us in Denver. That's the last show of the year. And also, we'll have our UK tour dates announced by this time. So we're going to come back to the UK. We're going to be in Glasgow. We're going to be in London. We're going to be in Bristol, I think.
Join us in another 2 weeks for more jam mechanicking. And I'll see you at tour. And I'm going to go and have a lie down because I'm running an open mic tonight and I am tired.
You gotta enjoy that bed while you still got it. I'm really
going to go and soak up all the juices that are in the bed. I can't send them off with all the juices. Like, that's the best part of the bed. Anyway, let's do a little sign off. The last time we did this sign off, I lost consciousness. So let's.
Yeah, last time we did this, you died in the middle of it. So let's see if we can get through this alive. This is our very normal sign-off. We already know it, so all we have to do is, we could say it one word at a time, just because we both know it so well.
Thank you for coming along to Jam Mechanics, and remember, before
the
end
of
this
sentence,
you will have
an
erection. And remember,
I'm going to do the first part. And remember, before the end of this sentence,
you will have an erection. Thank you very much. See you in a couple of weeks. Good night.
My show.
Serendipity pop, stopping all my problems, hitting on top from a song that fits just right. Serendipity pop, stopping all my problems. A right place, right song, right on, right time.